The road to Athermere ended before Father Nathan Hale saw the sea. It was nothing more than a narrow spine of broken gravel twisting through the marshes, leading to cliffs half lost in mist. The driver said nothing as he urged the horse forward. He simply crossed himself when the first fog bank rolled over the dunes. Nathan watched the gray world closing around them. The salt air stung his throat. He told himself he had come for peace, a new parish, a new start. But the silence felt wrong. Even the gulls were gone. When the carriage finally stopped, the driver pointed through the fog. "There," he said, "St. Mary's by the sea. You'll hear the water from your bed. And if you hear the bells—" He didn't finish. He just turned the horse around and was gone before Nathan could thank him. The chapel leaned over the edge of the cliffs like a thing too tired to keep standing. Its stones were slick with moss, its windows sealed by boards warped from salt. A black iron cross crowned the roof, bent sideways by storms. Nathan climbed the steps and pushed the door open. It groaned like something waking. Inside, the air was damp and cold, thick with the smell of brine and mildew. Dust motes drifted through pale light, falling from cracks above. He raised his lantern. The pews were crooked, the altar draped in a stained cloth. Water had crept up the walls, leaving pale rings like tide marks. And there, hanging behind the pulpit, was a rope, frayed, cut clean through. The letter from the diocese had said nothing about a bell tower. The original tower, it claimed, had collapsed with the rest of Athermere village when the great storm came in 1883. The sea had swallowed everything: the town, the graveyard, and the church bells that rang until the water silenced them. Yet now, outside, rising ghostly through the fog, stood a rebuilt belfry, its timbers black and slick with rain. Nathan frowned. "Who rebuilt you?" he whispered. The wind didn't answer. The rectory was small but livable. A fireplace, a table, a single iron bed. He unpacked his Bible, his vestments, and one framed photograph, a woman's face blurred by time. He set it by the window and turned it away from the sea. That night, he couldn't sleep. The wind pressed against the shutters, bringing with it a deep, rhythmic sound. Not quite thunder, not quite waves. It pulsed in his chest like a heartbeat. And then, beneath it, he heard it clearly for the first time. A bell, a single note, soft and distant, rolling through the fog. He sat up. The rope was cut. There was no ringer, no mechanism. The sound faded, then returned. 3 slow tolls, each lower than the last. He stood, heart pounding, and crossed to the window. Nothing but mist. Yet in that whiteness he thought he saw movement, something dark shifting near the cliff's edge. He blinked, and it was gone. Nathan whispered a prayer. The walls seemed to breathe with him. Morning brought no sun. The fog had thickened until the world beyond 10 feet vanished entirely. Nathan decided to explore anyway. Behind the chapel, a narrow path led downward through reeds. Halfway down, he saw the black line of the tide against the rocks, and, beyond it, the sea swallowing what looked like rooftops. Athermere, the drowned village. They said the storm had buried it under 50 feet of water, but when the tide was low, the ghosts of houses still showed their shapes. Nathan gazed at them until the wind shifted and a low hum rose from below, faint as a choir underwater. He shivered and turned back. On the way, he found a wooden sign half buried in the grass, its letters carved deep but faded. "Redden, caretaker, do not ring the bell." That evening, he searched the rectory for records. In a drawer, wrapped in oilcloth, he found a small black journal marked Redden. The first page was smudged with salt. The sea took them. The bell calls them back. I tried to seal it, but something keeps ringing when the fog comes. If you hear it, don't answer. Nathan read until the ink blurred. He wanted to laugh. A caretaker's superstition, surely. But part of him couldn't shake the feeling that the words were written in desperation. That night, the bell rang again, 3 times. Then once more, shorter, sharper. Like a knock, he dreamed of the drowned village. Water lapped at his boots as he walked through streets of bone-white shells. Bells hung from doorways, swaying, though there was no wind. When he looked down into the water, he saw faces, pale, open-eyed, hair floating like seaweed. They were smiling. A woman's voice rose from beneath them. "Ring us home." He woke gasping. The bell rope swung gently in the dark, though no wind touched it.